Hello and welcome back to 360 Sports. I'm your host, Kylie Smith. Here alongside me, I have Gemma, Aiden, and Alex, all here today for our NCAA Frenzy show. So we're going to get right into it, starting with some college football. And Dabo Swinney and Clemson continue to falter to Syracuse, despite the Orange losing their starting quarterback, Steve Angeli. Do you guys think the Tigers can find their championship form, or is their window closed? Is it too late?
I think the window is closed. They have to still play SMU, FSU, Louisville, and South Carolina. They're bound to lose one more of those games, at least.
One, yeah.
They were national championship favorites. Cade Klubnik was a Heisman favorite. It's actually really depressing to watch the downfall of this season.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. The windows this year is closed. Clemson is not the Clemson that we were expected to see, and they are this year's 2024 SFU at the moment, as FSU last year ranked top 10 in the AP preseason, was meant to be this great team making another national championship run. And obviously they went 2-10 and the entire program just fell apart after that. But now they're on the come up. So I do believe Clemson will get back to their form. But yeah, they're actually not the only team that has been pretty bad this year. Florida has also been one that comes to mind immediately. Two teams with great quarterbacks, with massive NFL dreams that haven't been really delivering too much. And because of their performance, if it keeps coming up, it could really tank these quarterbacks draft stock. Klubnik, Lagway, almost kind of like DJ Uiagalelei with Florida State last year, who's now just on the Chargers practice squad. So I believe that they won't drop as far as he did, or as far as even Shedeur Sanders did, but it could definitely drop them a round or two.
Yeah, I mean, here's the difference between FSU going 2-10 last year and Clemson currently being 1-3. FSU built their entire team through the portal, and now they're a top 10 team again because they built through the portal. That's to be expected. There's volatility there. Clemson, this was supposed to be the year.
Yeah.
Like, Dabo Swinney doesn't use the portal, like, at all. Like,
no.
He doesn't believe in NIL altogether. He believes in homegrown stuff. So when you go through a process like that, when you are pure just recruiting, you have to spend 3 years building up, and then you have to pick a year. Like with Penn State this year, everyone's like, this is the year. Everybody's old. This was supposed to be the year for Clemson. So when this is supposed to be your best team and your best shot, and you won the ACC last year, so your ceiling was supposed to be the ACC champ. The floor was supposed to be the ACC championship because most of your guys are coming back. Like, you didn't lose a lot of guys at the draft. So this is a massive indictment on Dabo Swinney's program. The Dabo Swinney way is just not working anymore because a couple of years back, when it was supposed to be the year, they would go on and win a national championship or be in a national championship game. But until Dabo Swinney embraces NIL and he embraces the portal and starts actually getting his mind into the modern age of college football, they're never going to be as relevant as some of the some of the top Big Ten and SEC programs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you guys, actually. If you think that that's kind of the only issue that Clemson's facing is the fact that he won't go to the portal, only drafts or takes people from high school leading up, but they're struggling offensively and defensively. I think Cade Klubnik has 5 interceptions on the season already.
I was not expecting him to struggle like that at all. He was like one of the best quarterbacks going into this season.
He was supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks going into the season.
So was Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Well, Arch Manning, Texas is a different story with that. And Arch Manning still has a chance, but Cade Klubnik doesn't really have a nice window to get that chance anymore. It's starting to narrow out.
Even like you said, DJ Lagway, even Lenora Sellers, those were supposed to be like huge names, Heisman favorites, and they're struggling.
It's proof. Struggling. I mean, college football is the most volatile sport in any billion-dollar industry when it comes to sporting. It's so hard to predict, and you don't really know until you know. In terms of, I think the biggest thing is Clemson's defense was like their calling card last year.
Yeah.
Their offense was really, I forget the name of the running back. Mufa.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah. Their running back was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Klubnik, and that was like their whole offense. Like, their calling card was defense. And guess who they just hired? Tom Allen from Penn State. And he was supposed to be a home run hire, and now they're dropping 34 to Clemson. So
you never should have left Tom Allen. I don't know what to tell you.
I like Jim Knowles a lot. We'll get to that, though. We'll get to that.
Coach is coach.
So who do they play next? Do we know?
They have a bye week.
Bye week. So
Yeah,
maybe
bye
they'll get it together and we'll see what happens next.
We'll
Maybe
get a
they
couple
do.
more entertaining Dabo Swinney press conferences for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay,
This game is good.
so moving on, college hockey has also reached new heights of popularity this year with the release of the official USA college hockey polls next week. What are we expecting in the rankings?
I mean, clearly we're expecting Western Michigan, Boston College. Of course, our own school, Penn State, Michigan State. You're expecting all those big teams at least in the top 5, top 10 bubble for sure.
Yeah, I made kind of like a pseudo list here, and my pseudo list kind of goes Michigan State, Boston University, Western Michigan, Boston College, and then Penn State at 5. The reason I put Penn State at 5 is because that's kind of where they ended last year, and a lot of these polls don't really know how to rank Penn State because there's a lot of guys who are new on the team this year, but are extremely hyped up. Another thing I wanted to talk about is how the Big Ten is going to probably be the most competitive conference in college hockey this year. Teams like Minnesota, Michigan, Ohio State, on top of Michigan State, Penn State, and even teams like Notre Dame, which aren't great but have that competitive edge, they're all looking to fight for a top spot in the conference, and it's anyone's game if, Michigan State or Penn State starts to stumble around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's anybody's game. I mean, just there's only 16 teams that get into the dance in college hockey, and when you're in a conference like the Big Ten, you're going to get beaten and battered all the time. Every game matters, and I just think this year I think is going to be the biggest stage. I mean, it's unprecedented for a guy like Gavin McKenna, who we may or may not be talking about later in the show, but a guy like him, I mean, a literal LeBron James type prospect. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. This is the best prospect since Connor Bedard, and he's coming to college hockey instead of going to juniors in Canada. That is unheard of, and that is because of NIL and Penn State throwing around a massive bag. But in terms of rankings, I mean, yes, I'm definitely incorporating some bias here, but I think Penn State should be number 1 just on talent, pedigree alone. I think that's how it should be because, I mean, let's face it, there's nothing to base these rankings on other than past performance and talent profile. And in terms of past performance and talent profile, nobody profiles better than Penn State. And I cannot, in good faith, put Michigan State ahead of Penn State because Penn State, frankly, owned them last year. Mm-hmm. And they're returning what's the name of the Michigan State goalie?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not very well versed on college hockey. I apologize.
Michigan State's returning. They're returning the Hobie Baker winner. Because he didn't want to go play for Tampa Bay, but begrudgingly returning to Michigan State. But even regardless of that, Penn State has the most talent, I think, top to bottom in terms of college hockey. Mm-hmm. I think their biggest question mark is goalie. They have a transfer from Omaha. I think he's going to be amazing, but we'll see. But they've got batted 1,000 when it comes to transfer goalies. So I think I got Penn State. Like you, Michigan State might be 2, BU, Boston College, Western Michigan. I have like 3, and then I think MSU's a solid 2. But.
Yeah,
right. So it doesn't sound like we have any sleeper picks, really. Does anyone have any like?
I mean, you
that
never
could be good.
You never know so early. I mean, like even Penn State, they kind of started a little slow last year.
UConn's going to be really good.
But
Denver's still going to be there
themselves.
themselves.
UConn and Maine as well. Yeah,
UConn, Maine, Denver, all those
Yes.
schools that are usually really good at hockey are going to continue to be good at hockey.
Yeah.
Same thing with Arizona State. They're actually a very hyped up school this year. And it's funny seeing these schools in typically hot, dry climates playing ice hockey.
I will be sleeping on the Minnesota Golden Gophers, though. I don't care how much talent they have. Their coach is awful, I think. He's had the most talent. He's had the most talent in college hockey over the last decade and hasn't won a single national championship.
Fair enough.
Fair. Okay, so we're going to move back to football. We all know here, obviously, that this week is Whiteout Week, where Penn State will be playing Oregon for the first time ever in a whiteout game. Who are the X factors for the Nittany Lions to pick up a victory in this top 10 matchup?
I need Denai Dennis Sutton to go bananas on Saturday. I need him all over the field. I need him to go crazy. I've been a huge fan of Chaz Coleman. That kid has been awesome. I need my quarterback, Drew Aller. I need him to knock it in his head. I know he loves to do that, but Drew, I need you to focus, and I need you to let the play develop, and I need you not to keep taking sacks because it just gets me really frustrated. And I would love for my senior whiteout to win, please.
Of course.
Yeah, I kind of have something very similar to you. Denai Dennis Sutton, Chaz Coleman, both extremely great players on that defense. I just need Jim Knowles to keep his defense the way it's been. The defense has been stellar. The defense has been electric.
I'm not worried about the defense.
Oh, I'm not worried about the defense. I'm
defense
absolutely
at
not worried
all.
about the defense. I'm worried about the offense, specifically
too.
Drew Aller. Let's talk about that. He is in his own head. Like you said, he is missing complete throws that should be easy to make.
Mm-hmm.
He is just not having a good start to the year. Hopefully in the bye week, he was able to keep his composure and get it down. But the offense needs to step up. Not even just him. I think the offensive line could do a better job blocking.
They're supposed to be the best offensive line in the country, and they really weren't playing like that. But what Penn State likes to do when we're supposed to win games is they don't like to try until
They
it's
were
a little
down 10
too
points
late.
of Bowling Green last year
Yes,
at halftime.
exactly.
I wouldn't put too much
So
stock in it.
this is what they like to do. I'm hoping that we don't have a slow start and we.
Yeah, because last year Penn State was a second half team. But what I want to say here is I want the offensive line to be better, and I want our wide receivers to also be better. It seems like they're not really very crispy right now, if that makes sense. The routes seem a bit sloppy. They seem like they're a bit confused, still trying to get their grip.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, most of our wide receivers are transfers. Right. But right now, I believe one of the leading receiving people on our team is Luke Reynolds, who's a tight end. That sounds very familiar. It sounds like Tyler Warren last year.
He looks exactly like him.
I'm such a big fan of Luke Reynolds.
Luke Reynolds is a dog.
After that fake punt, I've been like
Luke Reynolds is a dog.
Luke Reynolds fan.
So I have a set of notes here, and I just wrote trenches, 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 because that is where this game is going to be won.
Oh yeah.
If Oregon puts a bunch of pressure on Drew Aller, I don't think Aller can handle it. I haven't seen him handle that kind of pressure before, because when he's faced elite defensive lines, he's kind of just crumbled and tossed it up in the air. I mean, you saw it with Ohio State last year, and you saw it with Notre Dame. He is at his best when he's in the pocket and he can see the field.
Right.
And I really want Aller to use his legs. You are 6'5", you have a rocket arm. You are a truck.
He is
massive.
Yes. And I don't know why he can't do a push correctly, but I think the biggest key is putting pressure on Dante Moore and not letting them open up the field. As soon as they open up the field, I think Penn State's defense is great. Their weakest part of the defense is the secondary, and I think on top of the other trenches point, if Penn State gets their running game going, I don't think Oregon can stop it.
But it has been shown Drew Aller can have a really bad game and we still can win.
Yeah.
Drew Aller probably played his worst game against Notre Dame and we only lost by a field goal.
If we dominate in the trenches, it won't matter
exactly.
what he does.
So I'm hoping that he doesn't have a horrible game. I'm hoping he has a Heisman game, but
his best game of the year last season was against Oregon. It was a loss, but it was his best game of the year.
That was defense's worst game. That was offense's best game of the entire time. We put up 40 points on Oregon, which was crazy.
So we also have College Game Day coming this week. I think we should talk about this a little bit more also. Who do we think, I know you mentioned that you wanted to do this earlier.
Yes,
who do you think that they will bring on as a guest? It's a guest pick, right?
Yes, guest picker. Now, in my eyes, there's two options, right? Micah Parsons, because they have a bye week this week, and I'm kidding, actually. They just play the Dallas Cowboys, so in my mind, it's a bye week. But I think in terms of celebrities, I don't think you could go wrong with Ty Burrell. Phil Dunphy, Modern Family. He went to both Penn State and Oregon, actually. Yeah. So you'd have to pick it fairly, but I know he picked correctly because he's here in Happy Valley, and if you pick wrong Ty,
right. So Keegan-Michael Key has just been there, done that.
He has. Yeah. He's tired. I love Keegan-Michael Key.
Yes.
I really do.
I feel like Saquon been there, done that, with game day picks.
Yeah.
So
even though I love Saquon.
I love Saquon too.
I'm probably going to be happy with anyone they choose. Whatever it is, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, that's a good decision. Yeah. I really like that decision.
That or what was the name of the gymnast from Penn State?
Steven. Oh, that'd be a good one. Yeah. What's his? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'll butcher it.
Clark Kent. Yeah.
He does look like Clark Kent, actually. That's true.
And then Nierowski,
something like that. Yes, that would be a good one.
Nierowski.
Okay,
yeah, that would be Dancing with the Stars legend.
But I don't know because Dancing with the Stars is not he's not on it now. Because I feel but he would have been big last year too. But he is still people are talking about it. This alma mater loves him too.
True.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get Robert.
Penn State loves posting him everywhere.
Yeah, Penn State does love.
So final predictions for the Oregon-Penn State game. Who do we think's taking it?
If you would ask me 4 weeks ago, I would have been Penn State's winning by 2 touchdowns. I still think we're going to win.
Closer.
I think 38-31.
It's going to be a close game. You think 38-31? I would argue just go 38-35 like Penn State. Well, obviously, I want to root for Penn State.
Yeah.
I want to root for Penn State so badly, and I am. the game is going to be difficult. It's plain and simple. The game is going to be
It's going to be like
difficult.
Auburn 2021, Michigan 2019. I
we
think
gotta
it's going to
crush
be
Auburn.
like no, but like we only won by like a touchdown against Auburn 2021.
Yeah, the score
One
was
possession.
deceiving. I thought we thoroughly dominated the game, but I mean, yes, it was a close game for most of it. I think it's going to be 28-24. Oregon needs a touchdown last drive of the game, and they get stopped.
I was going to go a little bit lower also. I was also thinking like a 28, low 20 scoring game. If you think about it, it's a night game,
Yeah.
whiteout, Penn State. So I do think we'll have the upper hand. It's going to be hard, but
If Oregon hangs 30 on us, I don't think we could.
But I feel
Well-
more confident in defense making a stop at the end of the game versus Drew Aller going down and getting points.
right.
Get out top early.
Yeah, I can't fall behind.
Okay, so moving on, there's so many college sports set to kick off in the coming months and some already underway, obviously. We're going to go to the board and say one athlete that we are eagerly waiting to watch this year.
And I believe I'm first on this one.
Yes.
So I will be absolutely doing that. So as you can see here, this is Old Main. That's not my choice. My choice is actually Aiden Fink from the Penn State hockey team. Now, Aiden Fink played amazing last year. He led the teams in goals and assists, and he shot 144 times. He's an absolute stud, no doubt. But I think with his surrounding cast, new people and old faces like DeMarsico and Gavin McKenna, and even defensive superstar Makadowski coming in from Army, the coach's son, I believe if he plays as well as he did last year, with the new cast that he has, Penn State makes it to the Frozen Four, and it's not even a discussion. I truly believe that this team is going to be one of the best we've seen in program history, even though the program is only like a decade or so old.
I like that pick.
And I like that. A lot of passion in that.
Yes, of course.
Well, we are name buddies. I feel like I have to have the passion for it.
So
Oh,
true.
true.
So true. Okay. So my pick is for basketball, Mr. BYU, my guy AJ. BYU has, they're a really good program. March Madness, it could be anyone's game. This guy is set to be the number 1 overall pick for the NBA. I believe he's 6'9" as well. He had offers from UNC, Auburn, like literally 5 other schools. This kid, he can literally do anything. He's not just good at one thing. He is all over the court. He can do anything. And I'm excited to see him in March Madness. To be honest, I don't really watch the regular season of college basketball, but I feel like it only matters when you watch March Madness because any team can win and teams who are supposed to win lose all the time. So I'm really excited. I know it's only September, but it's going to be March before you know it. So I'm really excited to see BYU in the sky.
I like. I'm not Bruce on that, but
I don't watch a lot of
once
basketball.
again,
admittedly.
Well,
passion.
I might have spoiled this earlier, but my pick has to be Gavin McKenna. It's an unprecedented recruit for the program. He's the number 1 overall pick next year, and it's not even a question. All right, he's a Connor McDavid, LeBron James type prospect. I mean, he can do everything. He shoots, he back checks, forward checks, play makes. He does everything at an elite level. He could play in the NHL today if he could. This guy is reclassed, and he's 17 years old, I believe still. I don't know if he turned 18 yet, but there's a reason he's coming here as young as he did. He'll only be here for 1 year, so appreciate him while you can. This guy's a generational prospect, and him choosing Penn State over going to juniors is so unprecedented and will change the landscape of college hockey. I believe this type of move right here is why I think the NCAA tournament will be expanding to about 32 teams as more teams go varsity in about 15, 20 years. I believe the sport's about to go ballistic.
I feel like that definitely is like the title of it with the anticipation. He might be the most anticipated person
I
to
wanted to
watch
pick
this
him.
year. Yeah. Did you try that?
I did.
Yeah, I stole it.
You were on it.
Okay. For my pick, I always have to bring some light to women's soccer. I'm such a huge fan. So I'm going with Kate Fassey from the UNC Tar Heels. She's a forward on the team, and last year was the National Player of the Year when UNC won the 2024 National Championship. She was a forward. I think she had 20 goals on the season, like better than every other forward in all of women's soccer last year. Right now, UNC's dropped to 18th, I think, nationally, which is a crazy drop from winning the national championship, but I feel like we've been seeing that a lot more recently in a lot of sports, but she is just a star to watch when it comes to closing time and pressure. So I'm excited to see her in playoffs if UNC can keep their household name as they usually do and bring her team back to the top and see what they do in playoff season.
I love bringing attention to women's soccer. I think any type of soccer can really be fun at the collegiate level. So it's glad that you brought that up.
I agree.
Yeah, but Penn State got screwed last year. Let's be honest.
That was such a
That's
I know that was the
topic.
hardest game for me to watch too because I grew up with like UNC was like I thought I was going to play for them. I was
Right.
not nearly that good ever,
Right.
but like I just love them so much. But that was definitely a
Should have been
competition
us.
this year, and we're not. Whatever. We don't have
Next
to talk about it. We don't have to talk about it.
It's fine.
Okay, we're going to move on to Olympic sports with a question mark because the Olympics are taking place in the United States in 2028. New sports are being added. I don't know when the last time that happened was, but
Breakdancing, unfortunately.
oh, you're
Yes.
but two of them are lacrosse and flag football. And I just want to know, do we think we see any connections with collegiate athletes going to the Olympics for these new sports? And who, if so?
I mean, I would love to see big names like Travis Hunter playing both sides of the field, Ryan Williams. I don't know if that's going to happen, but like I would love to see that. I mean, Matt Jeffrey from Notre Dame, freshman of the year, strong scorer for lacrosse. I feel like it'd be really fun to watch those games when they come to the Olympics.
Yeah, honestly, for lacrosse, I said anyone from that dominant Cornell team last year
True.
could really be stellar on that. Cornell had an 18-1 record. They won the national championship. I looked up; they had 15.74 points per game on offense. That's pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ Kurse is the first name that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Even though I think he's in the PLL now, and he plays for the Philly Water Dogs in the PLL. Go Philly. And so I think that could be incredible if you were still in college. But for flag football, I just like to imagine seeing like prime Johnny Manziel, Oklahoma,
Right.
Baker Mayfield,
Right.
dotting up defenses on the other side of the field. But for people who are actually in college, Caleb Downs, Sherman McCoy, Leonard Moore, three names that come to mind for CBs. Jeremiah Love, even Singleton or Allen from Penn State, and Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. Ryan Williams, and Jeremiah Smith, obviously. And I think for quarterback right now, you could say John Mateer from Oklahoma.
Mhm.
He loves going for it.
He played great. He
slings
played great
the
last
rock.
weekend.
He
great
played
on Saturday.
amazing. He's
Yeah.
been playing pretty good. He already has 1,215 yards in the season. I think he's top 10 in passing at the moment. So that's really good.
Yeah.
I'll say there's no Matt Trainer though. From Penn State lacrosse last year.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know many lacrosse players, so I went with Matt Trainer because he's the only name I know. And now for flag football, unfortunately, I can't pick Patrick Mahomes, so I had to pick the closest thing, which is Bo Prabula.
The closest thing. The closest
Wait,
thing
I
is Bo
go every
Prabula.
time,
Not
every
Dylan
time it's on my
Raiola.
TV screen. I go, it's the go. I just refer to him as the go.
Oh, I
don't
used to not. I couldn't stand Missouri, and then Bo went
Wait,
there, and I said,
used to hate Missouri.
I hated
too.
Mizzou.
And now I'm Missouri's biggest fan.
and
like,
I'm like,
rooting
you
for
know what?
them.
I'll root for Bo, and that's the only part of Missouri.
Bo
I'll
got
root
the
for.
bag, but I don't know. I feel like you watch that guy and you're like, yeah, that dude goes crazy
It's
when they're
Trace.
running around at 3v3s on the beach.
It's Trace McSorley. but
Trace
better.
McSorley would be goated.
But better.
But he's too busy coaching up through Aller to be the 15th overall pick in next year's
I need
draft.
Trace
so
to have a pep talk with Drew this weekend.
Yeah.
Just to get
Probably
him right.
has already.
he needs to tell
I'd like
him
to
to throw
think
it
he
on a
has.
dime.
Well,
Yeah.
this is my question with the flag football because I know flag football at least as like a woman, predominantly women's. Like I played in high school, kind of like club, and we went to the Eagles Stadium, like played there. It's a huge thing in women's sports, and some colleges actually have it for girls. So how would that work? Do we think it's going to be
It should be men's and women's.
You think it should be
I
men's
think it
and
should be
women's
men's.
competing
I do
against
too.
each other?
I think
we should get a sorry.
Would that be the first like how do you say it?
Co-ed?
Co-ed, like Olympic going against each
We should
other?
get Alona Maher.
That would be
to
interesting.
I
that as
definitely
well.
think it.
she
and
was
actually,
like, boom.
I almost said no for a second because I forgot flag football was actually no contact. But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
that would be
technically.
that would be such an interesting co-ed sport, and I really like that thought.
I mean,
Right.
that's still like two and a half, 3 years from now. So
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
know
How
if
much
that's
it's going to develop
100%,
too in
100%.
college.
I'm saying put Alona Maher at linebacker and just let her cook.
Yeah.
I don't think they have linebackers in
If they did, she'd
flag
be great.
football.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
she would. She would be
Okay.
great.
We're going to move on to the Cornhusker dominance in volleyball. Nebraska volleyball is one of the most impressive athletic programs in the country, honestly, consistently being dominant year after year in the Big Ten and nationally. With the struggles of Penn State volleyball, despite being national champions, is Nebraska national champion? Is this their championship to lose? Do they have it?
When I think of Nebraska, I just think of Harper Murray, and then that's where I'm going to turn it over to you
Course.
because you have all the stats.
So-
Wait, before he actually explains this in a real way, let me just say that Nebraska, no matter what they do this year, did get reverse swept in the Final Four by Penn State, national champions.
This is true. This does happen to be true. Well, for starters, if you don't have Nebraska or Texas winning the national championship at the moment for volleyball, what are you even doing? Both of those teams are absolutely stellar, and Nebraska is actually my current favorite to win the national championship in volleyball. Harper Murray is just an unbelievable athlete. Harper Murray is the heart and soul of Nebraska volleyball, and she is just unbelievable what she has done. So far this year, she has 137.5 points and 120 kills so far this season.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
We haven't even, I don't even think we've hit the halfway point of the
No.
season yet. So that is insane. And that is absolutely stellar. And I've watched my fair share of volleyball games last year, especially because Penn State was really good. And so I got really into volleyball. It's a really fun sport to watch.
Yeah.
I also like watching my sister play volleyball when
Aw.
she does. So
Aw.
shout out to you, Quinn. But Penn State is not in the best position. And I
so heartbreaking.
I do
It's
not think they will
hard.
be
It's so
repeat national
heartbreaking.
I know.
champions.
Yeah, but Nebraska has to come to Rec Hall, and they're going to face a reckoning.
That's fire. That's,
Yeah.
that's
Sure.
awesome.
Yes, yes, yes.
They-
Let's hope.
They will face a reckoning.
We might
as
win
you
a
say.
set. We might win a set.
Well, I think it's important to mention, too, that John Cook was Nebraska's previous head
Yeah.
volleyball coach for years.
Right.
And he stepped down last year.
After getting reverse
And-
swept.
After getting reverse
I
swept.
was shocked that he didn't wait until like Harper
Harper's
Murray
last
and then,
year,
yeah,
and
that's
they
what
have
I'm
an
saying.
incredible relationship.
It's like a father-daughter,
figure
yes,
to her.
absolutely.
Exactly. But Danny Busboom Kelly is stepped up as their head coach, and they're still undefeated. So I think that just it's a testimony to how good this team is.
I
right
think they
now.
really want it. I think they
100%.
smelled it last year, but I think they
And
really
they
want it.
wanna
this
That
come
year.
must have
back.
been really hard after last year.
They have the
agree.
drive.
Yeah,
they
they do.
absolutely
They do
have
have
the
the
drive.
drive.
They have they're going for it.
And I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Because obviously Izzy Stark was one of our stars last year, and she didn't come back. Do you think that's playing a part in this team not doing as well as we kind of anticipated after last year's dominance?
Yeah, I think in general, losing your best player obviously is going to hurt the team. But I
Right.
think from a moral standpoint, losing a leader, someone that was like
Agreed.
face of your program, and just a big part of like one of the greatest stories in sports. I mean, they won an ESPY.
Yeah.
Coach Katie did. I mean, they're the talk of the town, and now they start the season like this, and they lose their best player. I mean, it's demoralizing, frankly, and I can't blame them for being down because I would be as well.
Yeah, well, you can't blame them for having kind of this fall afterwards because they didn't just like lose a teammate. They lost like a friend, someone that they probably considered part of their family who didn't come back to the program.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's gonna be a bit of a moral downside to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was probably one of the biggest things, and it kind of happened. I don't think it happened right at the start, right? It was kind of a late call, so it could have scrambled, and it's hard to come back, obviously, after already winning a national championship.
Yeah.
What do you expect at that point? But that is all the time we have today for our NCAA Frenzy show. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens, and always come back tomorrow. I think it's our NFL show? NHL.
Gonna be
Thank
great.
you.
Heard good things.